Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, Vietnam. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, H-Town. What it do, what it do, what it do, baby. We are almost to 2019. Hallelujah. Many didn't make it, but I was one of the ones who did, and you are too. Oh, I know you cold walking, bro. Anyway, I say the thumbs, but I don't know who you are. Please, when you come in, please just tell me who you are and drop your location so I'll know who I'm speaking to this morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. I hope this thing does not drop. I'm off. So I'm going to try and remember to go. Good morning, Ms. Wilma. And get me another dash cam holder this morning. I'm going to try to remember to do that because this one here, I guess I've used it so much until it has this is too close to my face, honey. Y'all know y'all don't want me all up in y'all grill this morning. I don't want y'all up in my grill this morning, so let's do it like this. Yes. Okay, that's much better. Much better. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. No, wait a minute. Okay. Honey, I guess we could just go with that. Good morning, good morning. I see who's on here. Good morning, good morning, good morning. If you all could just drop your location where you are. If you in H-Town, just put an H right there. That's all. I'm just asking you to do that for a reason. We are, today is the last day of, good morning, good morning. Today is the last day of 2018, and Facebook wants to count up my, not Facebook want to, I want to count up my insights with Facebook. So in order for me to send them in, I need to know where you are listening to me from. Just put your location in there if you would do that for me. I know everybody can hear me. If you're driving, don't worry about doing it because we want you to be safe first. Safety first, okay? Safety first. Thank you, Dayton. Thank you, Dallas. Thank you so much for doing that for me. H-Town, what it do? Am I doing this right? Isn't that H-Town? Representing H-Town today. Yes, honey. H-Town have had some tremendous things to happen in the year of 2018. Yes, Ohio, thank you so much. Thank you all so much for tuning in this morning because I know you all could have been tuned in to anybody else, or you could have just been doing something else, watching Judge Mathis or something like that, honey. You could have been doing something else, but I thank you all for being on here. Good morning, Fletch. And Happy New Year to you too, Ms. Wilma. Listen, I want to talk to you all this morning about liars. And I chose to talk about this subject because we are approaching a new year. Not saying that anything is going to change, because some people are not going to change. Some people are going to continuously be the same people that they are. Some people are going to continuously live their lives the way that they live, because they're content, right? They love the way they live. It's a way of life for them, and it's okay. It's okay. But for some people who may get taken advantage of sometime, or who don't know how to distinguish, or who don't know how to separate, or who don't know how to recognize when they are being lied to, or when they are being played, or when they are being hell of a topic, huh? Or when they are being taken for granted. So we're just going to help you this morning on just a few things on how you can recognize liars. Even when people come to sell you things, salesmen in their pitch. Now, let's be clear. Now, when a salesman comes to try and sell you something, they are trained to give you rebuttals. They are trained to, quote unquote, or I'm not going to say lie to you, but they are trained to say whatever they have to say in order to sell that product. Now, in that case, it is what it is. That's their job, and that's what they're going to do. But realistically, I want to talk about just the reality of liars, because I see so many people. Good morning, Sister Blunt. I see so many people, the truth can be staring them in the face. Seriously. And I don't know if they're just naive or whatever it is. Good morning, Miss Green. Good morning, Mr. Brown. I don't know what it is, but they would rather believe a lie than the truth. Now, 3 reasons. First of all, what is a lie? Something that's just not true. Something a person tells you is not true, whether they are aware of it or not aware of it. Now, not being aware of a lie is somebody told you something and you don't know if it's true or not, but you're passing it on to somebody else. But it's really a lie. It's a lie. So you're unaware that you're spreading something, or you're unaware that you're telling someone something that's not true because somebody else told it to you, right? Now, that's being unaware. Being aware of a lie is just blatantly making something up. Making something up that you know is not true, and that untruth eventually causes confusion, causes hurt to some people, causes commotion, which is under confusion, and it just causes people not to believe in you when you are telling the truth. Now, let me tell you something. There's a lot of reasons people lie, but let me tell you 3 main reasons people lie. 1, they don't know how to, they have reality and fantasy. So in between that, they're lying. They have their reality, they have their fantasy. So they're going to lie. They want to make something seem as if it's really not. You know, they want a fantasy to come true. To them, it's a fantasy, but it's really a lie. It's really a lie that they're telling. They're telling something that is non-fictional, something that is just not true. Another reason people lie, I said it was 3. Accountability. Now, as children, we know children do it all the time because that's just a part of children, because they know they're going to get a whooping, right? They know that they're going to get in trouble. Who broke that lamp? I didn't break it. They don't want to be accountable for what they did. So liars never take accountability. They don't want to be accountable. So they lie about what they do. They're going to always blame the next person. Another reason they lie, the 3rd reason, because they just simply want what they want. They are going to lie because they want what they want. Have you ever seen some people? They're going to lie to the extreme to do whatever it is because they just want what they want. So I'm going to lie to get what I want. And my mama used to always say, if you lie, you're going to steal. They're going to lie. So let's go back over 3 reasons. And there's many other reasons, but I'm just going to talk about the 3 reasons this morning why most people lie. Accountability. They don't want to ever be accountable, take responsibility for anything that they do. They want to always blame other people for what they're doing. Watch out for those people. When you have people that never once, and you know they be lying, but they never want to be responsible and never want to be accountable for what they're doing. Or they're bridging reality and fantasy. And this is the fantasy, this is reality, and this is fantasy. They're always lying. In the middle is going to always be a lie because they're always thinking of something that's not true. That's their fantasy. They're always thinking of something. And they just sit up and just think of stuff like, let me give you an example. Let me give you a sidebar. They just never can face reality. Let's say they're just sitting, girl, you know what? You could tell them, oh, you know, I went on a cruise the other day and it was so good. And they're sitting there. Girl, you know, I went on a cruise too before. They've never been on a cruise. But because you said that you've done something, their story is going to always outshine yours or outweigh yours. That's a fantasy. They want to really go because they don't want you to feel good about what you've done. Because they want to always be a part of what other people are doing. They never want to take responsibility, never want to be accountable, always living in reality and fantasy, and they always just want what they want. Most liars just lie because they want what they want, especially if they're with somebody and they know they can get it. They just gonna lie to get it, and they know how to zero in on you. That's why I say all the time, narcissists, manipulators, they know how to zero in on people who they are around because that's their nature. That's what they do. Manipulators and controllers, narcissists, all of those type of behaviors, split personalities, all of that falls under liars because they're doing something that is not true. That is not true. And here's another thing. I'm driving, so let me see what you said. Good morning, Herb. You said they will want. Wait a minute. They will want to one-up you. I didn't understand that. Maybe I'm not reading it correctly. Okay. And then here's some other things liars would do. And let me tell you this here. Liars only use 7% of verbalness. They really do 7%. Now, here's the thing. If you go to court, lawyers, interrogators, judges, they already know. They already know what it is. No, I said that wrong. Liars use more than 7% of verbalness because a lot of them talk. They talk their way out of stuff. When you go to court, let me just drop this. Let me just pin this on you. They already know when you get there whether you're telling the truth or not. That's why a lot of times when the jurors are over there, jurors only have 7% of verbalness when they are in court. That's what I wanted to say. You know why? If you ever been to court and someone's on trial, if you look at the jurors, they don't have that much to say because they speak. They speak with their facial expressions. They speak with the way they move. That's why your attorney sometimes can reach over and say, go ahead and take the settlement, because if not, they gonna hang you. The attorneys can tell. The attorneys know. The lawyers know. I'm telling you, if you've never believed anything I said, believe this. Lawyers know when you're lying. The judges know when you're lying. When you're standing there and you're twitching your face and your pitch, they can tell when you're lying in your pitch. Interrogators can tell when you're lying in your pitch. Liars use verbal gaming. Verbal gaming. They can tell when you're doing verbal gaming. Most of the time, liars scream. You ask them something, they may answer you, yeah. And you be like, but you're not believing it, so you want more information. And they start screaming. They're lying 9 times out of 10, 99.9 out of 100, they are lying and they're screaming. Something else what they use in verbal gaming. They always deflect. You ask them a question, they always deflect. Or they give you too much information because they don't want to zero in on exactly what you're asking them. They give you entirely too much information. And you be like, I didn't ask you all that. The only thing I asked you is, you told me you was going to the store 5 hours ago, and now, you know, the store is down the street. What all you did? And you well, you know, I went to the store, but then I thought to do this and that. Instead of just saying, nah, I went on and just hung out with my boys. I didn't want to tell you that's what I was going to do because I knew you was going to be, you know, all in my ear telling me what I don't need to do. They will give you entirely too much information. And then they go into tantrums. Have you ever seen an adult go into a tantrum? Especially when they probably feel that you know they're lying. They go into a tantrum. An adult would go into a tantrum. They get loud. Some of them may get physical because they know that you're zeroing in on those lies. Yes, verbal gaming. Liars use verbal gaming, and when they know they can use it on you, they will use it on you. They give too much information. Too much information. You know, when you just... Now, let me tell you this here. When I was taking, and I still do at times, different audience motivational classes, because you have to stay abreast on how to hold your audience when you're motivational speaking, right? Now, they will teach you if someone asks you a question, you answer that question with another answer or another question. Because, say for instance, let me just break it down to you. If you ask me, why didn't I go to work today? Well, I didn't go to work today because we're still out on the Christmas break. See, I answered that question and I gave you the reason right behind it. Now, liars will give you, they'll answer your question and they'll give you a whole nother scenario. I gave you my answer and I told you why. Because if I would have just said, oh, I'm off today, then you would have came back and said, well, why are you off? So I pretty much gave you 2 answers in one. That's the difference, okay? That's the difference. Hear me. That's the difference. Liars, they will, when they know that they're supposed to do something that they didn't do, they will dodge you. They will dodge you, and they will try and make it seem like everything is your fault. They're going to always try and put it back on you. They're going to always try and make it seem like, no, you did. You know I wouldn't do that. And here's another thing. Beware. This is another sociopath, narcissistic, manipulating, controlling way that liars would do. They will flip it on you. We've all been there. sometime where we've had people in our lives where they flipped it on us and we believed it. Yes, overthink the answer. They think you won't hear. Yes, absolutely, Boria. You nailed it. Absolutely. And these classes now that I'm embarking on, because I am going deeper in 2019, doing some things, it's making me have to be aware of who I invite in my circle or who I allow in my circle. So these are some of the things that I'm having to be aware of. And once you be aware of people who's not good for you, or once you be aware for people who continuously lie, because see, here's the thing, if they're not lying to you, but you already know they're lying to other people, they're going to eventually start treating you the same way that they're treating those people. You know why? Because you know better than they are. You know better than they are. So remember these things. If you don't remember anything else in this video that I said, because I'm almost to my destination after I cross this light and park. 3 ways that you can tell, hey, Miss Glee, that you can tell a person is a liar. And there's many other ways, but the 3 that I talked about this morning was accountability. Being responsible. When a person can never take responsibility, why you didn't do it? Well, just give me an answer. Why didn't you do such and such you said you was going to do? Well, because, let me call you right back. Let me call you right back. Let me call you right back. Or, male or female, because these days the females are no different than the males. Honey, some of these females lie so good, and then they cry. They cry because they want to convince you. Here we go again with these sociopath and narcissistic manipulation, controlling people. Let me tell you, I was married to somebody one time. They would lie so good and bust out crying and be on the altar, crying out to God, asking God to make my wife believe me. God, show my wife that I'm telling the truth. Now, at the time, because he was using the name God, Lord, Jesus, our Father, yes, I was believing it. Because I didn't know any better. I wanted to. See, a lot of times we want to believe in a person so much and so bad to where we be knowing the truth, but because we want to believe in it so badly, okay, let me go and take you back. Okay, let me go. Because you wouldn't get on your knees and scream and cry out in front of all these here people if it really wasn't true. Honey, boo, let me tell you something. These day and times, honey, people can get an Oscar for lying. Because bro, it's a stop sign. Gonna come around me and go. I guess I was going too slow. I ain't finna get no ticket over here. And this parking lot I'm in have a lot of senior citizens walking around, honey. I came over to this location purposely because I didn't want to go to one where a lot of people was at. Anyway, this day and time, honey, people can get an Oscar lying. You have some professional liars. When I say lie so good, I ain't seen so many people who can lie so good. Forget about in the church. I'm just talking about lying, period. They lie so good and get mad when you don't believe them. Dude, you ain't giving me no kind of accountability. You're not being responsible for what you did. See, here's the thing with me. I had to do something differently in the year of 2018. Ooh, don't try to wreck. I had to do something differently in the year of 2018 to save me, to save my mental state of mind, and to say, you know what? I ain't gonna even trip because you probably needed that parking spot more than I did, and you did. So we're gonna just do it like this. To save myself and to save me from going off, sometimes saying some things I shouldn't say. And that's something that we need to be aware of. Sometimes when we ask God to change us, sometimes when we ask God to do something different in us, we are the ones who have to come from among. We are the ones who have to change what we're doing. Nothing around us is going to change until you change. You have to have a different mindset on life. You have to understand what's good for you and what's not good for you. You have to not care what people say and let your no be no, your yes be yes. If you say no, you don't owe anybody an explanation, especially a liar. Now, You can only do that when you feel secure within yourself. You can only do that when you know within yourself that you're making the right decisions and doing the right things. Now, are we going to always make the right decisions? No. Hell no to the no. We are not. But once you make that wrong decision and once you become aware that you have made that wrong decision, you can then go back and do something about it. Listen, it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to do things differently. It's okay to say, I made a wrong business choice. It's okay to say I did something wrong. Go back and fix it. Even if you are going back fixing relationships that you made bad. Yeah. Or a relationship that you really want. When I say relationship, I'm talking about like a friendship, kinship. If it's worth having, if it's worth being in your life, go back and fix it if it's fixable. Some relationships and kinships aren't fixable. Again, like I told God in 2018, I'm not going to bring hurt upon myself. If I get hurt from someone or something, it's going to be, yes, it can be a learning experience. Absolutely. And see, here's the thing. Once we learn from a test or a task, the next level we get to, that test or task is going to be even harder. But because you learned from that situation, you're able to get through the next situation a tad bit better. It's going to be harder because at every level, there's a devil, okay? But it's going to be a little bit better. But what I'm saying is just guard yourselves. Guard you. Guard you. Now, if someone is doing you wrong, and if you have a liar in your space and in your circle who's continuously hurting you, and if you don't know, that's a different thing. Because like I said, we have some naive people. I used to be naive. Because I wanted to give people the benefit of the doubt. I wanted to not think this person was like this. I wanted to think, oh no, everybody does the right things. But I had to think, Sheree, do you do the right thing? No, not all the time. Not all the time. Not all the time. But again, when people don't be accountable and take responsibility of things that they have done, don't have those people in your circle. They're not trustworthy. Again, some people would just lie because they just want to they just want what they want. You know, have you ever gotten up and you don't even ask a person a question and they just lie for no reason? Just lie. Just lie for no reason. Habitual liar. Habitual liars, they believe what they speak. A liar, one who speaks untruth unknowingly. Yeah. Habitual, they will believe what they speak. And they want you to believe it. And then they get angry when you don't believe it. Now, see, this is going back to when I say liars, they go into tantrums. They have tantrums. They do. Because they're figuring out you're figuring them out, or they figure out they have figured out that you know that they're lying, so they're going to have a tantrum. They don't answer the question straight. They dance all around it, and they add so much information and they deflect. And let me tell you something. A lot of times when people deflect, when you ask them questions and they deflect, a lot of times that means that either they don't know the answer, or the yes, busted. They don't know the answers and they're going to try and make up one. So they are continuously dancing around the answer, the question, until they can come up with one. Now, I will say this. I deflect questions sometimes, not because I'm giving a person a lie, because sometimes I just don't want to answer it. What do you mean by that, Sheree? I'm glad you asked. I'll share it with you. If I'm in a situation, good morning, Barbara. If I'm in a situation, sitting at a table or sitting in a crowd of people, you know, being in a group of people, and if I hear one person saying something about somebody else and I don't want to be a part of that conversation, and if they say, Sheree, what you think? I'm going to deflect. I'm not going to answer that. I'm going to deflect by bringing up something else. Now, when I say deflect, you can deflect in a positive way sometimes. I deflect all of the time because some people I just have to deal with because of family or because of work or whatever, and because I have to see them every day, or because I have to see them sometimes. Some people we just have to have in our, well, I'm going to say have to. Some people are in our lives or in our circle Not because you want them there, but because of certain reasons. But learn how to deflect. Because what I'm not going to do, what she's not going to do, is be on your side when you're lying. Because what happens is, I said it earlier in this video, if you're lying on them, and if I'm agreeing with you, I'm just as guilty as you are. Sheree, did you see my cousin on here, Juanita? Hey, Juanita Kearney. My cousin on here, Juanita, I'm using you for an example. Just like if somebody say, girl, did you see Juanita do such and such? I didn't see that, but because I know you want me to say yeah, because we're in the crowd of people, I'm going to say yeah, knowing I didn't see that. I'm just as much of a liar than you are. I'm no better than you are. Again, I'm going to say this, and I want you to get it. You may get it and you may not get it, because what I can't do is make people get things, and the only thing I can do is put information out there and share it. When you're around people and they talking about people and lying on people, no, you're going to be the next one that they do if they're not doing it already. Be careful in this season who you share your information with. Be careful in this season who you confide in. People tell me all the time, Sheree, you put everything on Facebook. I put on Facebook what I want to put on Facebook. 75% of my life, yes, I put it on Facebook because of what I do. And because of the content and insights that I do with Facebook. Most of y'all know I work with Facebook. So in order for me to get that check every month, I have to keep putting things out there. You know, y'all complain. Here's another thing. This used to bother me years ago, but, oh, that lady has cute. Not years ago, a few years back. This don't bother me no more, because guess what? Every 18th of the month, when I look at my account and see them little coins that Facebook sends me, it makes me not even care even the more what people say. Sheree, you put this and that on Facebook. Girl, boo. Let me tell y'all something. All y'all talk about all the content people put on Facebook, but y'all watch these reality shows. Y'all follow these reality shows where the cameras follow people. Yeah, y'all watch Love and Hip Hop. The cameras follow people. Y'all love Atlanta Housewives. The cameras follow them. They sign contracts for the cameras to follow them and be a part of their lives. And guess what? They getting that check too, just by you watching it. But then when somebody else do it here on social media, on Instagram, oh, they just, what's the difference? What's the difference? I have to get to a point to where, and this is why I told you I have to go and get me another one of these here things today. I had to get to the point to where, honey, I don't care what people say. I don't. Let me wipe my camera. And when you get to that point, you're going to be like, I don't care. Baby, let me tell you something. Honey, look, if one thing I can say, I've always been the type of person, my mother have always instilled in me, once you know you're doing right and once you know that you're doing something positive and people are still talking, don't care what people say. I know that's right, Sade, but I'm just saying until I got to the point to where I am now. And I'm going to tell you this here, I don't have anything against the church. The Bible says, fail not to assemble yourselves. I love going to church. I think church is a beautiful thing to do. I think you should be there, this and that, but church, it's right here within your heart. And church will make you feel like every decision that you make, if it's the right decision for you, they'll make you think it's the wrong decision. Not every church. I'm not talking about every church, so let's be clear. Let me put that disclaimer out there. She's not talking about every church. Yeah, people gonna always talk. And I had to learn that because, you know, church taught us differently, Sade. Because I found out the biggest people preaching and teaching in church are the biggest porn watchers. Why they getting over the pulpit talking about watching porn? They are the biggest ones. The biggest liars. The biggest home wreckers. The biggest whoremongers. I ain't gonna tell you how many dick pics I got in my, and I ain't gonna say excuse, but anyway, that because it is what it is. Because if you're a pastor or a preacher or a person of the cloth and you coming in my inbox sending me pictures of your little bitty petawaka, whatever it is, I don't even know what it is, and you think that's cute, that's not. That says a lot about you. And then you wonder why you got all these women in your church wanting to sleep around, or wonder why you got all these people with these spirits in your church, because you're doing it. You're doing it. You're doing it. And what are you doing? You're breeding that same spirit over your people when you're preaching to them. But then you want to get mad and say what they're doing, what they shouldn't be doing, but you're doing it. You're bringing all these people in doing revivals that's doing the same thing, laying hands on your people. I don't let people lay hands on me. That's just me. I don't do it. If somebody called me out of the audience, I think Crystal James Taylor prayed for me one night. But see, I know her fruit. I know her stock. You know, she comes from good stock, honey. She comes from good, you know. I don't let a lot of people lay hands on me. I can count on maybe 3 fingers the people who I will let lay hands on me, because transferring the spirits are real. You know, you'll be like, ooh, I feel like, just knowing you ain't married, and we all gonna get them feelings sometimes. Oh, I feel like having sex. I feel like doing this and that. And knowing you ain't had that feeling in a long time, but you done let somebody come in and lay hands on you with a whoremongering spirit or with that porn spirit. And then now that spirit is on you. Y'all, I'm just keeping it real. We're talking about liars, controllers, manipulators, narcissistic people, sociopath people, all that. It's real. I'm telling y'all. And it's even more real than that, because people are crazy. People don't want to accept responsibility. Be careful in this season. Be careful in this season. They say to keep. Yeah, dang. I know that's right. I know that's right. But I thank each and every one of you all for being on here. I thank you all for sticking with me throughout 2018. Some of you all have been some of my best followers, and I love you for it. Love you, love you, love you. Get your hands off me, Joker. Y'all, Sade, we used to go to the same church. Girl, you a mess. And I thank you all for following me in 2018. 2019 year is going to be even bigger and better. I'm speaking it. We have to speak those things into our lives. Speak whatever you want. I am a living witness. You have to keep speaking it. You have to keep speaking it. When the devil comes in to tell you it's not going to happen, you have to keep speaking it. You have to learn how to override the devil. Now, we're going to have some mad days. We're going to have some bad days. We're going to have some times in our lives where we just feel we cannot make it. Don't throw in the towel, because guess what? So many times I threw it in, God threw it right back at me. It was like, girl, take that towel back, wipe that sweat, and keep it pushing. You know, some of us made some bad decisions in 2018. It's okay. And I'm not saying God said nothing. I'm telling you, Sheree is saying it's okay. Just let's try and do better in 2019. That's all we can do. I make no New Year's resolutions anymore. I just ask God to continuously cause me to do better. Continuously keep the spirit of love within me. I want to continue to love everybody. That is my prayer. Because it's easy to not love people when they done you wrong. But when you know that somebody loved you when you did wrong, when you knew somebody was standing in the gap for you until you got it together, that would make you stand in the gap and love other people unconditionally. And I love each and every one of you all unconditional. I'm not going to jail or hell behind hating or not loving nobody. Now that I'm not. So, child, let me get in here and make some go take care of some business and get back home and clean these chitterlings. And you all have a blessed day. Okay? Peace out. One love. H-Town, what to do? Yeah, enlarge my territory. Thank you, Miss Wilma. Thank you so much. Veronica said, what is the name of those 2 seasons that you... Wait a minute. What's the name of the 2 seasons that you cooked your last food with? Slap Your Mamas? I cook everything with Slap Your Mama's, child. Veronica. Everything. Okay, just do better. Bookie do better. Yes. Yeah, I think that's Slap Your Mamas with you. I use Slap Your Mamas on everything. I use Italian seasoning on almost everything. And that's because for my taste palette, I like more of a Cajun or spicy seasoning on everything, child. On everything. Thank you so much, Barbara. You know I was with the kids last week. All right, I'm outie. Bye.